Yo, what's up? What's up? It's your boy Kim's Pour In. Welcome back to the Blind Pursuit podcast. And I got my boy, the man that you do not want to bring home to mama, Flavius. What's up, bro?
Not a whole lotta. I'm doing good. What do you mean I can't come home and see mama?
What if she's broke? What if she got no money for you, bro?
I bet she can cook.
Oh yeah,
You know.
cooking is always a plus.
Yeah.
What's your
And
favorite thing to eat?
oh man.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there. I
I'm
know your mind's all
I,
dirty.
I'm not much of a foodie. I think we mentioned that before. I will eat pretty much what is put before me as long as my head's not slammed down in it. As long as beets I don't eat. But just about everything else, I'll give it
You
a
know
try.
what I tried a couple of weeks ago?
What's that?
Grits.
Oh my
I've
God.
never had grits in my
Yeah.
entire life, and it was the most disgusting thing
Yeah.
I've ever had.
Yeah. Grits are kind of weird. Now, if you put like a lot of pepper and some cheese, they're edible, but yeah. Now, growing up in the southeastern United States, I had grits a lot. I got good and tired of having grits. There's not much of a taste to them, like pretentious dirt, kind of. You don't want to eat that.
So are you saying, man, I wish I had my sound effects working. Are you saying at this point you don't give a grits?
I guess so. Yeah. When it comes down to at the end of the day, that's pretty much what I'm suggesting. Right.
Yeah, and then you mentioned earlier about pimping it up with like stuff because I remember
Yeah.
telling you about it when my daughter took me out for my birthday, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to order grits
Wow.
and try it
Now,
out. And I
on
was like,
on your
man, bro,
birthday of all days. Yeah.
exactly. I was like, I want to try it out. It was disgusting. And then you were like, nah, bro, you should have put this and that, this. And I'm like, where were you 2.5 hours when I needed that?
Yeah. Yeah. See, they used to do that a lot in the South, but they would do like grits with a bunch of scrambled eggs and pepper and cheese until it becomes like this other thing that, yeah, it's got grits in it, but they don't say much. You're eating better things with it. So it's a thing down there, but like you, I'm not real into grits.
Speaking of not being into stuff, so I was
Yeah.
reading on Facebook, right? And I saw this post about a rapper
Yeah.
and he posted on some social media. I'm not even gonna say his name. After I tell you the story, you'll know why I'm not gonna, even
Yeah.
give him the time of day.
Yeah.
Underground rapper.
Right.
So he posted, we coming up, watch out," because he got 37 likes on a song that he posted
Yeah.
and a lot of fire emojis.
Okay.
So, so he thought he would go out and celebrate.
Yeah.
He grabbed his girlfriend's credit card, went and got some grill pudding, went and got a chain, and this is all him
Okay.
being
On
independent, right?
his girlfriend's plastic. Now he's doing this.
Yeah, yeah. So he's doing this all on his own, right? His girlfriend's out working or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She gets an alert on her phone about fraud alert,
She would.
and then she confronted him about it, and she filed a police report and all this other stuff, and
Yeah.
I was
On
like,
her boyfriend.
dude, all because you got 37 likes on a song,
Yeah.
which is way better than me though, honestly. Like,
Your day
uh,
is coming.
yeah, yeah.
They're
But
gonna they're gonna like your stuff.
and a lot of fire emojis.
Yeah.
So what do
So
you? I mean, that's just like as an old college mate used to say. redonkulous.
And it is, but social media for some people is like a super important barometer of what's going on. Now, I've told you before, I don't spend that much time out on social media, but
Are
you
you
see,
antisocial?
I don't think so. I just get bored with social media. It looks like people want to say something, they put something out there, and then you think, well, yeah, so. And I don't like being that way. I try to be kind of a people person. I've even been accused of being a people pleaser, but I just can't keep responding to stuff on social media. It's like it's kind of like a television gone insane or something. So I don't get out there on it that much. But I know people love it, and I guess the subject of that post was just thinking, "Wow, this is the beginning of my own personal revolution." I'm
But
on
so
my
do you
way.
think it's social media or do you think it's something mental? Let me tell you another story.
Yeah,
So you could decide for yourself if it's social media or the dude is just dumb.
yeah,
Okay. So another article I read about him, he apparently like there's other independent rappers. I'm like I said, I'm not gonna mention his name for any particular
yeah.
reason because it's just
Okay, give
shameful.
him his
Shame,
privacy,
shame,
his
shame,
anonymity. Yeah,
shame, shame, shame.
yeah.
So he got busted by the IRS
Uh-oh.
because he would give money to other underground rappers or buy them, alcohol, celebrating
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
right? Or their accomplishments, whatever it
Right.
might be.
Yeah.
So he figures since I'm giving these cats all this money, the reason why he got busted because he claimed 11 rappers as dependents. So now, do you
Nice.
think it's social media now, or you think there's something wrong with this dude?
No, it may just be the guy. Yeah, he might be just a determined pusher of envelopes, and, sometimes the envelope is gonna push back, but
Yeah, return
yeah.
to sender, right? Return to
Really?
sender.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. Insufficient postage. Yeah, yeah, I think that might be him. I don't think that's social media.
Look, I had to scratch my head. I'm like,
Yeah,
first you use your woman's credit card.
yeah, I know she loved that.
Yeah, there was so many articles about the guy, but after the first two, I'm like, I'm done. Next,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
really. Yeah. So what makes a rapper underground as opposed to above ground? Like,
I know, right? Isn't that such a weird term? Like, well, you dead, bro, or like,
but see, we used to use that like way, way, way back in the 60s and 70s. It was just stuff that wasn't as popular. And we were young and trying to be hip, go, I listen to underground music. So is that still kind of a thing like all these many years later that,
I think that it's just an interchangeable term in my opinion. Like,
yeah,
there's no difference between underground versus independent.
yeah,
In my humble opinion, if any musicians out there listening, feel free to correct me, you know?
yeah. I do like the sound of that though. I would prefer, I think, independent, because that suggests almost like a DIY. I'm not hooked into some huge company or whatever. But it would all be up to the person, I guess.
Yeah, so speaking of persons,
Yeah.
what hopefully you guys are up to date with our shows. Our last guest, Mike Hamley. What did you think about that
Yeah.
interview, that
I
show
was
that we
I
had?
was impressed. I think I was even saying that before he had completely left the show because it's a case of a guy in a serious accident. And if you haven't heard that, you really ought to go back and listen to his story because he was not one to like say how horrible anything was, but essentially he woke up paralyzed. His legs were paralyzed and he had absolutely no vision. He said his eyes were completely destroyed after an accident. And from that position began his journey to the present day, where he has his own business. He's used his engineering ability to make, I think, what he called a braille press. And again, if you listen to the show, he goes into detail about that. But he's also become kind of a consultant and a maker of policy for the disabled and I think for the blind. But yeah, I was really impressed with that.
Yeah,
He's
so before Falabius tells you guys everything that went down on the
I know
show,
I need to
just
stop that. Yeah, because you need to listen to it.
yeah, and the part that I love about the guy, you would never know that he went through everything that he went through because he's
Exactly.
so upbeat, so happy, the right attitude. It's not even a fake attitude either, bro. Like you could tell when someone's just being strong because that's what they were told to do. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. But
He's just
he
genuinely
struck me
happy.
as sincere. Yeah, like,
Exactly.
it's another day and I'm still here and I'm gonna do this. Because I mean, he had to I'll just say this much. He said one of the first things he had to learn how to do was, like, how not to fall out of a wheelchair. That's that's starting from a very distant point, to being like where he is now, self-sufficient and absolutely a contributor to his community. But yeah, I was really impressed with Mike.
Yeah, and it's one of those everybody likes to play the me card, right?
Yeah,
So once you think you had it bad or have it bad, somebody else has it worse. Once you thought you had a terrible upbringing, somebody might. I mean, we're not here to
yeah,
compete. You know what I mean? It's like we all have our battles.
yeah. But you're making a good point because no matter what happens to us, somebody else has always endured something, as they say, equal to or greater than. And it's the point is like to get through this stuff, to say, okay, this has happened. What am I going to do now?
Yeah. So again, go catch that show. Give it 5 stars. I mean, if you could give it six, I think it deserves 6 stars.
I
Honestly.
I agree, absolutely, yeah. And his his telling the story is way more interesting than the justice we can do to the story. You really ought to check it out.
And folks, I will just mention off top right now that I do not know why when we talk, our volume just boosts automatically, like 0 to like 100 just for 2 seconds. I've been trying to figure that one out. I actually have been looking around for podcast editors because Flavius his
I
mo-
know,
we can't figure it out. We're not audio nerds. We're just
but I
podcasting
but
nerds, and
I promise I'm not just shouting at you for the sake of shouting. It's something that's
it
currently
just
beyond our control, but we're working on it.
right. You see, it just happened again. I'm thinking the podcast gods are telling us something. What
They
do you think
are.
they're trying to tell us?
They're trying to tell us, that you have to start from this great distance and that every moment of every episode is a journey. And so we're on the journey. We're taking those steps.
Yeah, we're on a pursuit for something.
Exactly. There you go. There
Well,
we
yeah,
are.
I just thought I'd throw that disclaimer out there. So we're not here to claim that we know everything because we don't. and
No.
I like as I stated, I've been looking for podcast editors. It might just end up being a DIY thing,
Yeah,
so let's see what happens, but apologizing in advance, folks.
there you go.
So I wanna do a follow-up now that we got that fraud of a rapper out of the way.
Yeah.
Um, what's going on with the Polywana Cracker thing if people don't remember? Again,
Well,
what I mean by Polywana Cracker, guys, is the last episode, Flavis was talking about polyamory, I
yeah.
guess,
Yeah, you said
and
it
his
right.
yeah, and his buddies. So what's going on there?
He is settling into a new place. He is still emotionally torn up, because as I mentioned, I suppose what he's going through is as near as can be imagined from like a monogamous context to a divorce. So he, I suppose, is trying to process all the feelings that you'd be processing if you got a divorce. And that's painful no matter what. Divorce is never a walk in the park, but he's gotten into his own place, and I might see him Sunday. He might drop by to play a little music. He might drop by to get his bass guitar. I don't know. Sitting in there all lonesome for him. But yeah, he's getting through it.
What about the rest of them?
The rest of them, I don't know. See, I don't have any communication with those guys, and they're like one poly less. I mean, I guess at some point when it gets down to just one person, you're not poly anymore, you're mono. So I guess that's what's going to eventually happen.
Well, as they say in the wrestling world, we wish him in the best of luck with his future endeavors.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. And, it's an excellent opportunity to be glad that we are where we are. Because as we were pointing out a while ago, no matter what you imagine you're going through, somebody else might be going through something a little stranger. And in that case, wow, it struck me as pretty strange.
You know, even though we all go through our challenges and others have it worse, again, it's not us comparing, like, pay attention to me, help me solve my problems
Yeah.
because I have it worse.
Yeah.
How would you verbalize that, actualize that to our listeners in your opinion? It's like, I'm a rapper, okay? So I remember listening to the song back in the 90s. It doesn't matter if you're a Crip, if you're a Blood, we're all in the same gang no matter what at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
all fighting the same battle.
Yeah. Well, I think it's about humanity, and I probably say that too much. You probably get sick of me saying that, but we're all human beings first. And then we might be, in my case, an old white guy. In your case, a person of Cambodian descent, now living in the United States, born in the United States. But you had a dousing, at least in Cambodian culture, growing up. And so we're all different in that we've all had like these huge different sets of experience, but we are all first human beings. And that's what I try to remember. If you're dealing with anybody who's been through anything, try to consider the human side of it, the feeling side of it. And I thought about that a lot, with the Mike story and with other things that I've heard. It's just what were the feelings like? Because everybody has to process weird feelings every now and again. It is not a perfect world yet.
You are really into your feelings, aren't you?
I am. I'm probably too much into that. It's not that I don't. value the mind and cerebral pursuits, but I am very much tuned in to the way people
You're just
feel.
an emotional teddy bear, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, just a sentimental old fool, you know.
But were you always like this though, or do you think it's just
No, I wasn't. Um, you and I have talked about, for instance, sarcasm before. And believe it or not, in spite of all the slings and barbs I might have ever hurled at you, I am at this point in my life trying to kind of back away from sarcasm. When I was younger, I was said to have like a sharp wit or a dry wit or a cutting wit. And I was proud of that back then. That really seemed to validate me. But as I get older, I see that that kind of thing can actually isolate you, or it can keep people from wanting to open up to you because they're afraid they might get slammed by one of your witticisms. So that's been like a big lesson for me to learn. I almost got in trouble one time on a job when I realized a guy was trying to provoke me to say something super over the top sarcastic so he could put it in my file. He was an acting manager. And I think after that, I just started realizing, you can have just as much power from not saying or not pointing something out as you can from pointing it out. But I'll probably be working on that the rest of my life.
so you mentioned a moment ago about getting slingers, you don't wanna be sarcastic because you don't know about the response from the other person.
Yeah.
What if that person knows you though? Like, people know I think I've heard this comment about me, like, "Yeah, we know the type of guy you are," so we kinda
Yeah.
know that some things that come out of your mouth are essentially sarcastic most of the time, and
Yeah.
I really make it I try to make it apparent, "Hey, you know when I'm kidding,
Yeah.
and you know when I'm being serious, right?"
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be out there I mean, yes, texting could be misinterpreted, but if I have to do I mean, guys, if you don't use VoiceOver or any screen reader, I'm just telling you guys how it's pronounced, how they enunciate it, I mean, so, like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to do disclaimer, sarcasm
Yeah.
ahead. I mean, are you that not you, but are people that naive to the game? Like, "Bro, do I
But
really need to tell you beware do I need to put a wet floor sign out for you to let you know
But I
what's
think
coming up?"
some of it is just personal preference. Some people are just not as into like cut and slash back and forth. And for them, possibly some form of disclaimer is a possibility. A possibility. That's pretty good. You ought to write that down now. That's me at my wordsmithing best.
But
But
personal preference, though, I mean, that is where you really got to know the person. So if you just met the person and you've only known them for a few months,
yeah,
so in my not me, but for anybody out there listening, what is it? Are you supposed to do a Q&A?
I
I
know.
would like to know. I mean, 'cause so you won't get hit later on. "Oh, it's a
Yeah.
personal preference of mine. I don't like sarcasm
Yeah.
all that much." Well, I didn't know that, now I know.
But how
But
do
yet
you approach, like, when you
exactly.
first meet somebody? How do you do that? Because we don't have the supposed benefit of, like, eye contact, and, they used to say that, like, eye contact, "Oh, that's the window to the soul." So we have to open another window to get to that person's soul, get to that level of feeling. How do you go about doing that?
When it comes to, like, the body language, the eye contact, whatnot, that's why I just get to know people to the
Yeah.
point where, like I mean, it's not like it's never happened before, 'cause it has happened where, like you mentioned earlier about people pleaser, whatever cases
Yeah,
may be, right?
right.
But I have a tendency to trust people straight out the gate, and I've been burned many times
Yeah,
because of that. And
right.
then as time goes on, I figured out to, hey, let me slow my roll, let me get to know this person.
Yeah,
Because I think I've told you off record at one point, um, the more you listen, at least for me, the more I listen to somebody, I'm gonna pick out something.
yeah,
Or, should I pick out something to like, oh, I don't want to be friends with you no more? Or this is me personally, okay? So like I'll listen and listen and listen and listen.
yeah,
99% of that conversation was great, but that 1%, I don't want to mess with them no more. Or should I just accept that, hey, that's who they are, that
yeah,
1%, and not mess with them in that area, if that makes
yeah.
sense?
And see, that's a matter of gradation a lot of times, but I guess as I get older, which I have, I try to even allow for that 1%. There are times when I can't. If somebody comes across as like a bully or just extremely judgmental, it's going to turn me off. And if it happens enough, I will start backing away in some point. Like you begin to think, well, I'm just not going to engage with this person on the level of a friend. They might be acquaintances. And I used to hear that a lot. Well, you got friends and you got acquaintances. And I suppose that's a good enough way of kind of marking, you put this in this folder with the friends and this folder with the acquaintances. But it is tough
Wait a
sometimes.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you saying, like, straight up open up a folder, create a folder, acquaintance folder, or are you talking about
Well, that was
right.
more of an analogy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. That you would say of a person, I don't really know them that much, or what I know of them suggests that I might not be a deep friend with this person. So maybe they're an acquaintance rather than a friend. And people use the word, we were talking about social media a lot a while ago. They use the word friend a lot because the word friend has kind of been trivialized a lot on social media. Oh, yeah, I'm friends with them on so and so, Discord, Facebook, whatever. And you might not even know the person. You might not know very much about them at all. So I don't know. Friendship is a it's a lot of work to understand. And I think to be a good friend to somebody, I have to be willing to like put work in, you maintain that friendship, like
So
watering the garden, I guess.
so guys, what we're basically getting at, and feel free to leave comments, what we're talking about is as you're blind, when you're communicating with people, stranger friends. I mean, just because it's a stranger, yeah, it's automatic. What did they say in grade school? Danger, 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 danger. Don't talk to
Yeah,
strangers.
stranger. Yeah,
Uh, even not even friends. I mean, because some friends could be cutthroat like that too.
yeah,
So as a blind person, guys, how do you guys deal with that? Do you just go off by the like? You can listen to Flavio's voice right now. Like when I told him when I first met him, he always sounds like he's smiling.
yeah. And I
Just I'm
am. I'm
because
a
I'm
pretty
going
smiley guy.
because I'm going based off his voice, right? So if you use that logic, yeah, he will never steal from you. He will never.
Yeah.
But when he does, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. What if the smile was like the crocodile smile, like he said, come on in. So you do have to be mindful of how people present themselves. But on our end too, I remember a teacher of mine actually saying to me, when you speak to somebody who is sighted, turn your head toward them so that they might realize you're speaking to them. And that was actually something that me being blind from birth or shortly thereafter, I just never thought of it. And now it's kind of second nature to me to do that, but it wasn't always.
Isn't that weird though? And I know we're all grown ups here, and a lot of you guys listening are grown ups, but I have a very dry sense of humor, so get used to it, guys.
Yeah.
You're telling a blind person to have eye contact. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying just look their direction
Yeah. Just
because
kind of,
everybody else around you don't know that you can't see. Yes, I
yeah.
know the cane may be there.
But what you do is, it's obviously not going to be eye contact, but you put your face toward the source of the sound
Yeah, you're
and
looking
you
at them.
kind of, yeah, and you inwardly, you link up with where that's coming from. And it does work. People realize that you're either trying to get or to hold their attention. So it is a thing we can do. And I'm sure there are lots of others. I would be interested in what other people think about that too.
I read a story several years ago, and it still breaks my heart to this day. This young lady, she was on her way home. She was on a subway
Yeah.
in New York, and she needed assistance finding her to get to the next transportation,
Yeah.
right? And this guy offered her help.
Yeah.
He took her to a secluded area. Nobody was around, and raped her.
Yeah.
Totally blind.
Right.
She, she could not identify the guy.
Yeah.
But nowadays, when you think back to it, though, I didn't do a follow up on that story because it just broke my heart.
Yeah.
You could, yeah, people out there listening, well, why didn't they do a DNA? His sperm was probably all over her clothes or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, it's just, I just remember that part when the cops asked, I wish I was a fly on the wall. Like, if the cop, what do you would ask the blind victim? Like, I actually had that happen as a blind person. The cop hesitated to ask me, what did the person look like?
Yeah. Yeah. I got robbed once, and the cops had difficulty with that too because they were saying, well, can you think of anything that distinguished those people to you? And I really couldn't. They didn't
They'll be like,
say
what? He
very much.
wasn't wearing deodorant. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't brush his teeth.
Because all I could tell him was, no, they just broke in and stole all my guitars. So I really was not of much help in that regard. But no, the story you told is awful. And it does ask the question, like, to what extent should we trust people? And
Because he
that,
sounded, I mean, this was all text, right? That I'm reading an
yeah,
article. He
yeah,
came across like a nice dude. And
yeah,
that reminds me of another story, kind of a negative one, based on the subject matter. But
yeah. We got to get you reading some positive stories, but go ahead now. Tell me this one.
so I was 15, 16 years old. I was hanging out with my buddy in downtown Seattle,
Yeah,
and it was about, I don't know, 11, 12, 1 in the morning. We went to go look for weed,
yeah.
and we got lost. This guy walks up to us. He's like, "What's going on?" Yeah, man, looking for weed.
Oh my
Oh man,
god.
I can get you some weed.
Oh my
He sounded all gravy, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
cool thing again.
yeah,
But we were intoxicated already, right?
yeah,
So we gave him all our money.
yeah. And
You
you
already know
never
where this is
saw
going.
him
Yeah,
again,
you
so
already
to
know where this is
say.
going, bros.
Exactly. Yep.
So we sat there, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'll be right back, man. My girl got some." I could see a little bit. I could see a little bit, right? So
Right.
she lives right over there. He pointed to his left at that building.
Yeah.
I saw the building he pointed to,
Yeah.
and yeah, let me go talk her up and this and that. This, I'll be right back, man. With your weed. So we just sat there like dummies, bro.
Yeah.
Like an hour and a half later, and then we were like straight up 1996 Beavis and Butt. I can't do the
I know.
impersonation.
I
I'm not
know.
even gonna try.
But
But I'm like,
yeah, but we get the idea.
yeah, I'm like, bro, do you think we're gonna get our weed?
Yeah. Is he coming back?
And
No.
then, and then my buddy was like, I think we got robbed, bro.
Yeah.
And then around the corner, this guy comes up, hey, hey. I'm like, oh shit, dude, we're gonna get beat up.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yes, sir, what's up? Did some guy just ask you for some weed? I'm like, yeah. Well, he just tried asking me for something. You didn't give him any money, did you?
Oh my God.
I'm like, yeah. Oh, he's like, oh no. Then we
Yeah.
got on the bus. We're like, we'll just go home. And then the guy that helped us find the bus stop. Oh, these guys don't have any bus fare because they just got robbed.
There you
It's
go.
okay. You don't have to pay for the bus fare.
Wow.
Went
Yeah.
back home. I
So,
was like, but again, it goes back to trusting that voice. But or is it just common sense? Hey, dude, you don't trust anybody 1 o'clock in the morning
yeah,
in
and
an alley.
that's something you're gonna learn only by being beaten over the head a few times like that.
Well, in
Because
my defense, I was a teenager
I
and I
know,
was
that's
intoxicated.
where I was going with that. When you're young, you don't have the perspective, things have not happened to you, and you think, "Oh, he seems cool enough." But,
Because
yeah,
when you're a teenager, you're trying to get in where you fit in. So if this person sounds
yeah.
cool, I'm going to be cool.
Yeah, exactly. You don't wanna admit, "Hey, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I kinda wish I was home at my mama's house." Instead, you're like this swaggery guy out there going, "Yeah, cool. Here's my money, man. Hurry up with it." And, you get what you get. But, yeah, that's a tough one. It's a painful lesson to have to learn.
A Debbie Downer for
There
sure.
you go. Yeah, exactly. Haven't seen her in a while. Yeah.
But yeah, so this whole thing was communication. I like the body language when yeah, you could tell when a girl's nervous or when she likes you, she starts playing with her hair or what. I mean,
Yeah.
think back to your younger days, bro. And I don't mean it as an insult. It's just how did you communicate with the opposite sex? How could you tell she was interested?
I was real shy
Me
way
too, believe it or
back.
not.
Yeah, I had a hard time keeping up a conversation when I was with a girl. I learned kinda back to what you were talking about, it's a way of listening, and you have to overcome all of your doubts, like, "Oh,
Well, we're
she's"
screwed, man, because they say
Yeah.
men are not good listeners.
Yeah. I don't think that's necessarily true. We might have to work harder to learn to do it, but I think over time I have become by degrees a better listener because they say that men anticipate what the other person's going to say, and that's apparently a bad listening habit. So you have to
Oh
like,
yeah, because you're in defense mode. All you're thinking
yeah,
about is winning the battle.
yeah, yeah. So you have to like put the brakes on, let them talk. I had a lot of experience with that in customer support. We used to teach when I worked for IRS, we used to teach other IRS employees all these different training courses. And when they were having problems, you could not, even if you thought you knew what they were going to say, you could not hurry them along. I learned that people don't like that. So I began to think of listening as like breathing. You just let
Don't
them.
rush me. Don't rush me.
Yeah, exactly. But it's tough to do that.
What do you mean don't rush me? I'm only here 8 to 4, and it's already
I know.
3:28.
I know, see, and we would be on these helplines, and there'd be, like, a problem with a website. So you get 50 people telling you the same thing, and everybody has a different style of communicating. Some of them go, "Well, I think you got a problem with your server permissions." And you just have to listen to it, even though that's not the problem at all. The problem was that some board in the server was out and the server wasn't even connected. But you couldn't say, "No, Jerry, you're an idiot." That's not the problem at all. You had to kind of let him have his say. And that's a skill, I guess, that takes a while to perfect.
I don't know why, it just reminded me what you just said about I was vacuuming or trying to, and I was
Yeah.
getting very upset why the thing wasn't starting. Very
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah.
And then my daughter's like, "Dad, it's not plugged in."
Yeah,
Like,
that's a tough
"Oops."
one. Yeah, that's a tough one, and everybody, sighted, blind, whatever, has done that before, whether they admit it or not. Yeah.
I'm like, "That's why I leave the cleaning to your mom. I'm not trying to be chauvinistic or nothing."
Yeah, but
At
she's
least
got
she
the sense to plug it in, yeah.
exactly, she can do 1 plus 1. Dad can't apparently.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's a tough one.
so yeah, folks, if you guys got any comments you guys wanna share, I mean, one of these days we're gonna do call-in shows that involves going
Yeah,
live.
exactly.
I'm
Or
not ready to
maybe
go live
maybe
yet.
even like a panel discussion down the road.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Forget
Yeah,
going live. We'll bring you guys into our pursuit chamber and we can have a discussion.
exactly. Yeah. You'll never be the same once you come in here.
Yeah. Once you go Brad, you can never go bad.
True enough. There you go.
So how's your creative writing class going, bro? We talked about that.
Man, I am trying to write this crazy story. See, it's like these 2 different things. Now, I promise I'm gonna try to be brief, and if it goes on, you just go, "Well, that's all the time we got today." But there's a biblical
Of
story
a man named Brady.
about a king named Ahab who was a bad mofo. He just
Bad
kept
Mamba Jamma.
he was. Everything he did just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And all this stuff happened. He ends up getting killed by a guy who was from a different country fighting his country. And the way the thing says it, it's just so cool. It says, "A certain man drew his bow at a venture and smote Ahab." So I'm trying to write a story of who that certain man would be because you know nothing about him. And so, yeah, as my creative writing project, I'm trying to go, how would you invent the character of this guy? So I've come up with this idea, maybe the guy was from a poor family, and maybe people said, "You're not going to be an archer. You don't have the goods to be, you don't even know how to hold a bow." So he learns and he practices and he's all by himself. And then just at random, seemingly in this battle, he goes, "I'm going to shoot that bad king." And he gets him. But yeah, I've been working on that. Now it's a long way from being finished, but yeah, I'm still doing my
So
creative writing stuff.
paint me a picture here, Brody. Like
Yeah.
when you go to this creative this
This creative crap, is that what you're going to say? Yeah, yeah. When I do,
this creative writing, I was trying to say.
yeah.
Uh do you guys just meet in like some big old nerdy computer lab with a bunch of Macs and Windows and start writing, or what does that
No,
look like?
we usually try to have stuff ready, stuff that we've been working on. And there are a
Is it
couple of
other blind folks too?
no, I am the only blind person in this class. And they're like about right now, they're like 7 people that come fairly regularly.
I'm just trying to paint a picture for the listeners here, so that's
Yeah,
why I'm asking these questions. So it's
yeah.
not a college setting, you guys
No,
just
no, no. It's kind of an adjunct. There's a community college here in Austin, and this lady just rents a room, and she and her partner teach the class. And
ooh,
yeah,
body
it
heat.
is. It is.
Up in the window,
And it's a lot of
put
I
on
won't
some deodorant,
yeah, I won't say it's a lot of criticism, but it's people
perfume.
listening and going, "Well, I don't exactly understand where you're headed with that." And so
Oh,
but the
man.
you know,
Chocolate light. I don't know. It's not that I don't take criticism. I can't take it, but
yeah,
sometimes I'll write something in like plain English, like dumb as you can be, right?
yeah,
I don't understand what I wrote it like in the dumbest terms that you could think of.
yeah,
Like a first grader could understand where I was headed with this. So you're like 54. So why? I don't get it. That's just me though.
yeah.
Maybe I'm ignorant about something.
No, not necessarily. It's just that if the person doesn't understand, it doesn't matter how simplistic your writing, the intent was.
Well, if they don't know, they
Yeah,
don't
if they
know.
don't know, you know. Yeah,
You know?
there you go. As a wise man once said.
I love it. If
Yeah.
you don't know, you don't know,
Oh,
you know?
you know? Yeah. See,
So you guys, is it just this whole shebang that you guys are doing,
yeah.
it's just is it there to help you guys become better writers, or is it to network and share stories, or
It's really both of those things and other things. Some of them
do you guys have like cookies and hot cocoa there, or
they've brought stuff in before.
show up in your
One
pajamas?
no, 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 no. No, no. But we,
Imagine that me walking in there with my tank top and boxers.
yeah, I'm sure they would love that. I I I don't know if the welcome they would give you would be like, as they say, with open arms, but I'm sure they'd find a place for you.
That sounds cool though. That sounds
Yeah.
cool. I mean,
Well, it's fun. I wanted to do something like that for a long time, and I finally found this class, and I was kinda sometimes as a blind person, you feel weird. I'll have a lot of explaining to do, but they have been pretty accepting of me, and I use email a lot just to, like, send in my stuff for the readings and the critiques and stuff. But, I've enjoyed it. It's a
how
fun
long you been
thing.
doing this for?
This one's been going on for about I wanna say I started it in August of last year, and they took a break for a while, so it's very informal, and they took a break and then started it up again, so, yeah, but I enjoy it. I I feel like it pushes me to keep trying to write stuff.
How did you find out about this?
I Googled, like, Austin creative writing and looked through several things, and some of them were a lot more formal, like college level stuff, and I thought, "Man, I don't wanna do that." And I found this one and emailed the person, and she wrote back and said, "Yeah, we come on, we'd love to have you." And I did like you do, I explained to her, "Well, I don't see, so some of the things I'll have to use, attachments." And she said, "Well."
Did you get that question? I swear, if a lot of people don't get this question asked to you, I don't know. I get it sometimes.
Yeah,
When you sat there and said, "I don't see,"
yeah.
I would have lost it if she said to you, "Okay, I'll make sure I speak loudly."
No, she was she
Have
was
you heard those
sweet.
stories, bro? Like, cause people
I
they
know.
raise their voice at blind folk.
Yeah, they do.
So
I
you
had
want to
a
go to the bathroom?
yeah, so everybody'll hear it. Man, I gotta tell you about the worst one that ever happened like that. Now, this is almost too much information, but I had a my second marriage, we decided we didn't want children. So I had a vasectomy so she wouldn't have to stay on the pill. Well, at
Sacrifices, man.
it was. And at some point, you gotta go in and they have to test your output, so to say, to make sure that the vasectomy is has taken.
Yeah,
So
your
I did
output. I love it.
yeah, so I did what I had to do and brought it in there. And I was in there by myself. You know, I had my cane and it's like this big office building. So I'm carrying my little cup with the answer to the question in it. And this lady at the window goes, "Sir, is that a sperm sample?" And I went, "Well, darling, that's what we're trying to find out." So, yeah, I do know about people talking extra loud to blind people. I have experienced that. But yeah, yeah, they will. They will reveal your most private, considerations, like, where everybody can hear.
But now that I'm moderate to severe hearing impaired, I'm kind of like stuck between the rock and the hard kind of spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because like
yeah,
they have to speak up, so I can't really
yeah,
get offended by it now. Because like when you go to the doctor's office,
yeah,
and I hate this. I don't know. We're in 2000 flipping 26. Why can't I fill it out online before I go in?
I know.
It's
That's
not that I'm embarrassed. The point is, I'm already gonna have to wait for the doctor as long as it is. Now I'm gonna wait twice as
yeah,
long
yeah, to get
because
through that.
I gotta find someone to help me with the paperwork.
Yes, I know. I hate that about going to doctors, but it is
You've seen the questions though. You've seen the questions that they ask
yes,
on those papers, but
I know.
so yeah. So you mentioned emailing creativity and classes and stuff, and
Yeah,
to our next guest is or properly is an independent teacher, skills teacher. So
yeah,
check that out. It'll be
good.
coming out soon. And
Yeah,
don't forget, guys, you could email me at it's kims4n at gmail.com. You can find my music all over the music streams that you guys have,
yeah,
Amazon,
all the
Spotify.
services.
Just type in Kims4n, add me to your favorites. You can now pin me to your favorites.
Yeah,
And I'm working, that's because of the Apple update and all that stuff, but I'm still trying to get the EP done. Mr. Hypochondriac is
yeah.
just busy, 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 busy. Now he's thinking about moving, so I'm like,
Oh, man. Where's he
oh
gonna
boy.
go? Where's he going?
Oh, he mentioned that like
I know.
I
It's a
can't
big
remember.
wide
I want to say
world.
Miami. I want to say Miami.
Wow. Yeah,
He's in Virginia right now, I believe.
yeah,
All because of a woman. He'll tell me it's not because of a woman, but I'm like, bro, I seen your Facebook post.
yeah,
It's for
yeah,
a woman. Why do you think
yeah.
Why do you think I'm in Eastern Washington
There you
and
go.
still here because of a woman?
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
women will cause us to, up and translocate.
hey, but you know what though? It's the best. Not I can say this now because I'm older and wiser and more
Yeah,
mature.
yeah,
But I don't regret relocating here though. I really don't.
good.
So it was a chance I took. Things didn't work out, but
Yeah,
I looked at my two cups, right? So cup A, go back to where I was, Western
yeah,
Washington, be with the fam.
yeah,
And what I've been seeing over there over the decades, I'm good here. I'd rather suffer
Yeah.
here than suffer over there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you got your house and your life, so you're doing alright.
Well, plus I'm just not a big city dude, bro.
Yeah,
I remember one time I was living at my mom's.
yeah,
I'm not kidding. It took 40 minutes to walk to the nearest store because where she lived was like in the middle of nowhere. There were no
yeah,
side. We were living in the country, so
yeah,
and nobody wanted to give me a ride because no one was home or whatever. And we didn't have Uber Eats and all that stuff back in the day.
right.
You could attest to that. I
I
mean,
can. Yeah,
all the
because
different changes with society over
oh,
the
man,
years.
yeah, because I'm from the sticks also, and I have said this to you before, but in a lot of ways, my life really did not start up as my life, like as me owning it until I got away from there and started having to figure out, in anticipation of our guest on the next show, like independent living. How do you do that? That's going to be an interesting show, too.
And that's what we're here for. We're here to provide. Flavius likes to use the word interesting. I'm trying to get him to change his vocabulary because the word interesting could have negative connotations.
That's an interesting way of putting that. Clarify. Clarify that for me.
Well, I'm not going to clarify because if you don't know,
Uh-oh.
you don't know.
Like,
You know?
Okay.
Well, at any rate, guys, like I said, I don't. If you guys are gonna ask if why I don't plug my X slash Twitter, I'm not usually active on that because there's just too much to keep track of.
Yeah.
So I stick it to old school. Just email me at itskimsporin@gmail.com if you have any feedback, any questions, or if you would like to be a guest on our show. Flavius, any last words of wisdom? You want to plug your email?
Well, if you want to send me something, like tell me I talk too much or something, you can send it to Bradford.Trainham, and that's Bradford Trainham @gmail.com. So, yeah, but we would love to hear from you about any and all aspects of the show.
And anything is, let's see if I'm saying this right. Don't have to worry about anything being off topic. Everything is fair game here.
Yeah,
You talk about what you want to talk about, and we go from there. But at any rate, guys, thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys down the road.
very good.
Peace.
There you go.